I am today's conference chair. I'm thankful for the organization for providing me the opportunity as a conference chair. So, talking about the organization Conference Fora, the organization is being a decade-old organization, conducting conferences across the globe, and physical conferences. The organization has conducted 700 plus, and then virtual conferences around 300, 400 because of pandemic. It has converted into virtual conference. If not, majority of the time it is a physical conference only. The organization conducts. So also organization keeps on conducting an interdisciplinary conference, one of the uniqueness of this organization, because we all know the conferences and members meet. If it is virtual, if it is interdisciplinary, we will be getting an opportunity to interact with the faculties and the coordinators and researchers across the globe with the different themes, and which helps us to indirectly grow our profile and research also, and plan our areas across the boundaries. So with this, our organization is keep on conducting these interdisciplinary conferences. So along with that, one more important thing is that the organization has more than 10 plus journals associated with us, and 10 plus journal associated with it, and also these 10 all their peer-reviewed journals, and till now more than 1 lakh of people have been associated in the journey, and more than 50 to 60,000 papers have been published in the journey, in these journals, along in the journey of a decade-old organization, right? So this is a brief about the organization, right? So without wasting much time, we'll quickly go ahead with today's session, and I'll like to now call upon the first participant for the day, so that we will quickly start with the presentation session, right? And in the interest of time, and to as we have like 20 plus participants and all, right, we can have the interaction or the interactions virtually through the mail, right? You can, once the participant has completed their presentation, right, they can share their email address, and we can use the chat box for any interaction rather than a communication and interacting too much in the session, right? So if any other queries are there, we can take it up after the presentation of all these presentation. We have approximately around 20 plus 22 presentation, I believe. Sorry, yeah, 27 presentation, right? So yeah, so we will quickly go ahead with the presentation by not wasting much time for now, right? So thank you everyone. We will be starting with the
Hello everyone, good afternoon. Firstly, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Nui Lai from Yangon Technological University. Can I hear my voice?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Let me start the presentation. Today, I would like to present the title is the shape measurement analysis of anti-antigen outside thin film by sinusoidal phase modulating interferometry techniques. This is the outline of presentation. According to this outline, the presentation will be continued. Firstly, introduce about the indium oxide thin film. Indium oxide is one of the most widely used electrical conductivity and optical transparency. Thin films are widely used in the optic semiconductor and material industry to provide specific to the coated devices. Thin films are a very important component for advanced electronic device and for liquid crystal display LCD, integrated circuit IC, and MEMS and micro electromechanical system mirror, and so on. And this is the application of the indium outside thin film. For example, the decorative coating, for example, is the coating on glass for architectural window, The object coating is example a few millimeter wide lengths in the smartphone cameras. Protected coatings is like an example thermolite carbon dioxide layer in car engine and the electrically operating coating, like an example the thin film layers for the elementary metal like copper, aluminum, gold, or silver, etc. The high accuracy of the interferometry measurement include amount of them in the following five methods. Amount of them in this research, I also use the sinusoidal phase modulating interferometry method. Well, because sinusoidal phase modulation method are used, it is the simple phase shifting, high accuracy, and easily resistant to disturbance. And the first three measurements of use the sinusoidal phase modulating interferometry. SPL will have to see the difference by comparing with the buffer of the flame. It is the research plan to determine the phase error precisely. The reflectivity and transmittivity were measured by the mathematical modeling. The shape measurement of the transparent plate with the indicating outside thin film on the top surface was measured to the uncertainty of the nanometer range. Finally, the surface share of the indicating outside thin film coated transparent was measured using the sinusoidal phase modulating interferometry. In this paper, a measurement method to determine the surface share of the indicating outside thin film coated was proposed. Objective to examine the technical hitch on the surface share of the surface measurement of the indicating outside thin film using conventional technology. To measure the share of the thin film based on the sinusoidal phase modulation with interference signal with no error value and the shape value in the nanometer range. The research challenge in this study is the hitch of the surface measure of the indicating outside thin film. At the result of the research challenge to measure the shape of the indicating outside thin film based on the sinusoidal phase modulating with interference error value and shape in the nanometer range. In this why we requirement of the non-contact measurement. In the figure 1, show contact measurement of the styler profilometry. In here, stylus like a ball band shape to damage the soft surface and its contact measurement point is slow. In figure 2, is the non-contact measurements of the interferometry. In here, the interferometry is the non-convection and is two-dimensional. Is flat. So non-contact measurement non-contact measurement is the better for proposed measurement research. It is the experiment setup for sinusoidal phase modulating interferometry. In the process, the laser beam from the helium neon laser strike the beam splitter. After being split by the V splitter and the V splitter, the two optical V on the object and the rear object and the reflected surface respectively were made with the two lens 2 and lens 3 with the unity magnification on the detection plane. When we strike the reference mirror and phase modulator by the sinusoidal vibrating mirror driven by the physio PZD physioelectric transducer at the reflector back. A physioelectric transducer is the device that converts energy from one front to another. The physioelectronic transducer was also called the vibrating mirror and attached at the bottom of the reflector mirror. It made the object wave and the reference wave mirror is the reference mirror produce the sinusoidal phase modulated interference signal that travel to the data. The CCD image sensor is due to the data interference signal, the combination of the reference wave and object wave. Both two waves, both the object and reference waves was encoded optical mirror with the 1A wavelength. The mirror where the interference signal is imaged on the CCD camera. The image data is imported to the computer and captured by the ACAP software. The resulting data will be stored in the MLS software. Therefore, we can obtain the interference signal and the surface profile. It is the process of the process setup of the sinusoidal phase modulating interferometry. In the next slide is the implementation of the research. In this figure 4 is the multiple reflection of the thin film. Is the proven measurement the base model. And surface profile. We find the phase surface profile and the phase area. Figure 2 is the procedure for surface profile and surface distribution. Firstly, we started the setup of the sinusoidal phase modulating interferometry method and the data collection. And second step is the data collection for surface area of the immediately outside thin film, and the substitution by equation from the flowchart 1. And then a processing by the ACAP software, and to find a measurement 3D views of the surface profile, and then confirm the shape profile in the end of the research. And let me show the research the parameter for calculation of the surface shape of the indicating outside the thin film. Values used in the experimental parameter for calculation of the surface shape of the indicating outside thin film accounting to show the equation and the value of reflected we use N1 is equal to 2.4 values. The thickness of value is 15 nanometer is chosen as to measure the best surface of the indicating outside thin film, and we get the process by strain, and now we also the distance is 14 nanometer. In the experiment, the thickness of the thin film D equal to 50 nanometer. When N range from the 2 to 4, the values of alpha, psi, and phi are obtained. The figure 5 is the cut of the phase distribution from the reflected in the value. Figure 6 the cut of the phase area from the reflected in the value. Figure 7 is to show the cut of the surface profile of the reflected in the value. The calculation of the reflected index for thickness C equal to 50 nanometer are using the MLS software. And so the simulation results are 65 because of the N equal to 2.4 value, and thickness of surface profile is a 15 nanometer range, and so it's chosen the best surface thickness to measure the surface of the thin films. This figure 8 and figure 9 to show the thickness result of the surface profile, and figure 9 to show the surface profile of the indicating outside thin film. This is the experiment setup for the indicating outside thin film from the Yangon Technological University Interferometer Laboratory. Let me conclude presentation. The testing of this experiment is confirmed the performance and the calculating result for the accuracy surface and in this in the next slide is the MD2 of the industry wave D, and the phase distribution data is checked whether they have constant value of the less than 100 nanometer range. We get this range, and from the indicating outside thin film is D equal to 50 nanometer use of the 2.4 range. The simulation results are obtained with the determined range corresponding in the nanometer range. So finally, the sinusoidal phase modulating the interferometry technique is to perform the measurement in the nanometer range. Is this a reference of the research? Thank you for your attention.
I will present two papers today. The first paper about conflict management and resolution in contemporary organization, a comprehensive analysis of strategies, systems, and real-life practices in UAE-based company. Specifically, the case study is Amar. This paper, inshallah, will focus on examining the management strategies within UAE-based companies with a specific look at Emaar properties. It aims to understand how these strategies are implemented and their effectiveness in managing workplace conflicts. By analyzing the Emaar approach, the paper seeks to provide insight how the effective conflict management practices that can be adopted by other organizations. As we know, that when we talk about conflict is everywhere and unavoidable. And conflict could affect the organization productivity, profit, their image, etc. That's why having a good conflict management strategy will affect the organization efficiency, the employee satisfaction, and overall success. It's the effective management can lead to improve the communication between the employees inside the organization, collaboration with outside stakeholders, solve the problem as soon as possible. So it will foster the positive work environment. This paper reviews major theories and studies in conflict management. It starts by identifying the gaps in the context of UAE. It emphasizes that even there is a good uh, literature review covered the concept of conflict management, the cases in different Eastern uh, countries, but in UAE still there is a gap about the importance of developing conflict management that is culturally sensitive and aligned with the local values and norms of UAE. Okay, the paper contrast between traditional and modern conflict management system, discuss the advantages, the disadvantages, the applicability in organization setting. We know that in the modern system, they trend to emphasize the collaboration, mediation, negotiation. It focus more on the mutual benefit and long-term relationship building, not like traditional system, which is characterized by the hierarchical and authoritative approach. In Emaar, as we know, Emaar is a leading real estate developer in UAE, implement a mix of traditional and modern conflict management system tailored to its cooperate culture and the dynamic market environment. The current system for managing conflict is at Emaar are designed to address the conflict efficiently. They promote a culture of open communication and mutual respect. We see in general in this paper, it concludes that the gap between theoretical concept and practical application of conflict management is highlighted, and they need to customize strategies to fit the unique cultural and operational context of UAE organization. It underscores the broader implication of enhancing organizational effectiveness, the employee satisfaction, and overall success through effective conflict management. Okay, in the end, the recommendation after this paper is to improve conflict management resolution strategies. It's recommended to prioritize the culture sensitivity by recognize and respect diverse cultural background within the workplace, to have innovation should be encouraged by exploring, implementing a new and creative conflict resolution method like online platform to report conflict, virtual mediation, and other collaboration tools. Conducting a regular conflict audits in Emaar will allow them to identify the emerging issues, assessing the effectiveness of existing conflict management strategies. In addition, to involve the stakeholder in the conflict resolution process will ensure that diverse perspectives are considered and lead to more comprehensive and effective solutions. Okay, this is for the first paper. The second paper, I need just to highlight that these are my students' paper in MBA class in Abu Dhabi School of Management. The second paper is about conflict management and the worker well-being strategies. It's in the health excellence in NMC health sector. Okay, this paper investigates how the role of conflict management strategies could enhance the healthcare excellence at NMC Health in UAE. It It will analyze the impact of tailored conflict resolution technique on the healthcare delivery and the worker well-being. The key findings indicate that effective conflict management significantly improves the organizational efficiency, employee satisfaction, and as a result, the patient care quality. This study emphasized the importance of leadership. They are a role model in fostering a positive conflict resolution culture and benefit of customizing approach that address the work dispute in a healthcare sector. The relevance of conflict management in healthcare setting is underscored by the direct impact on the quality of patient care, on the organizational performance. When we talk about theoretical framework, that if you know about the 5 main styles that have been identified by Thomas and Kilman, the conflict model instrument, they are accommodation, avoiding, compromising, cooperating, and competing. In addition, the two modes that have been added by Rahim's organization, conflict inventory, introduced the integrating and obligating. Build upon this model, they provide a structured approach to understand and address conflict. These models emphasize the importance of assessing conflict situation and employing appropriate strategies to manage them effectively. Okay, previous studies, as we saw, highlight critical role of leadership. They have a positive to build a positive environment for conflict resolution, enhancing the employee satisfaction, reducing turnover, and ultimately improve the patient outcomes. Okay, in NMC healthcare, they integrates conflict management into operation and culture. They develop a systematic approach and face the proactive measures to prevent conflict and effective strategies to resolve them when they occur. This integration is apparent in the policies, in the training program tailored to meet the unique needs of the healthcare setting. They foster an environment where the open communication is encouraged and conflicts are seen not as a problem but as opportunity for improvement. The benefit of this approach are manifold, resulting in enhancing the employees' well-being, reducing the stress, increase the job satisfaction, the positive environment, they improve the team dynamic and patient care outcomes. On the other hand, we need to shed the light on the leadership. The leadership plays a pivotal role in modeling appropriate behavior. They set the tone for the constructive conflict management. Policies at NMC Health are designed to encourage open communication, regular feedback, and provide clear protocols for conflict resolution. So, the finding from this study on conflict management in healthcare have a broader implication that can be extended not only on NMC Health. They underscore the necessity of considering the culture dynamic, the specific organization context when implementing conflict management. What works for healthcare sector, it's different than technology sector, manufacturing, etc. This holistic view encourages healthcare leaders to consider both human and systematic aspects of conflict management. Thank you very much for listening.
Paper title is Implementing Lean Management Principles in the Education System. I'm Mohammed Al-Tahat, working at the Faculty of Engineering in the Mechanical and Industrial Engineering Department at Liwa College in United Arab Emirates. This paper investigates the application of lean principles in the education system in Jordan. It emphasizes the importance of lean systems in Jordan for improvement of learning and education systems. The impact of many lean tools is investigated. the lean tools considered in this study was the multi-skills and agile employee, training and development, student training and qualifying activities, teaching system management, and curriculum development on the development of lean-based system. So these 6 tools are considered for building a lean-based education system. After building the model, a questionnaire was developed. The questionnaire covered the 6 impact-related tools, and then the questionnaire has been distributed into 10 public and private schools in Amman, Jordan. A pilot study was conducted. It was a sample of 5 schools where 300 teachers and staff were investigated. We developed the lean education system, LPES, lean-based education system, which is constructed of 6 lean variables. The first one is multi-skills and agile employees. The second is training and improvement. The third is students training and qualifying activities. The fourth is teaching system management, then curriculum development, and finally facilities and general services. After that, a structural equation model is developed. The structural equation modeling, as shown in the figure, presents the relationships among these 6 lean latents or lean tools. This is the first one, the second one, the third one. The figure also shows the interrelationship among each one of these 6 lean tools. After that, we collect the data according to the questionnaire and according to the pilot study, and an SPSS statistics software was used to analyze the responses. We discovered that all the lean tools considered in this investigation has an implementation level toward the improvement of lean management. This table reflects the contribution or the implementation level of each lean tool contributing to the development of the lean-based education system in Jordan. The first lean tool contributed with 80%, which is evaluated to be excellent contributor. The second lean tool implementation level was 79. All of them was above 70, and the overall implementation level of the considered lean principles was 78.7. According to the panel of experts who evaluate and judge the final results of this study, they stated that this implementation level can be evaluated or judged as a very good implementation as an overall level. During the study also, hypothesis testing was conducted. The results in this table show how the latent variable, all of them are significant toward the improvement of lean-based or toward the development of a lean-based education system in Jordan. As we then at the last column of this table, all the null hypotheses were rejected. This means that the alternate hypothesis is accepted. Finally, one way ANOVA analysis was conducted to test the evaluation or the relationship between and among each lean tool considered in the model. And if you see here at the last column of the table, the conclusion, all the lean tools considered when building this model, all of them have an effect on the developed lean production, lean-based education system for Jordan. Finally, this research delved into the examination of Jordan's education system, exploring its preparedness to adopt lean principles within the teaching sector. The research revealed that Jordan's education system demonstrated the capacity to embrace lean principles, and the outcomes of this research contribute valuable insights for educators, policymakers, stakeholders, and many others who are interested in the continuous improvement and lean transformation of education system. Thank you for listening.
Good day, everyone. My name is Dr. Omar Awad Hamid. I'm from AOU, Arab Open University, Bahrain. The paper I'm going to present today is about the hidden factors leading to currency crisis in Sudan, an examination using real trade models, RTMS. The currency crisis is very common in developing countries. Most of the countries facing some economic issues, macroeconomic issues, especially about the currency crisis and about the exchange rate. This diagram showing that the exchange rate in Sudan is declining from 1989 up to 2019 very rapidly. And that means the country is facing a serious currency crisis. This is the difference between the official and unofficial exchange rate. Usually when the country facing some currency crisis, the black market start to grow, and usually the participant in the market, they will start to deal with the unofficial market. We call it the black market. And this unofficial market will have unofficial rate compared to the official rate. And when the problem getting serious, that means the difference between the official rate and the unofficial rate will get bigger and wider. And that means people will have more interaction in the black market than the official market. And this appears also in Sudan from 2009 to 2019, the difference and the gap between the two rates increased rapidly. Usually this problem will appear when the country having a problem about the balance of payment. So this is also showing the gap between the import and export, which is a trade balance, and the gap also getting wider and wider from 2000 up to 2019. This problem usually is not only for Sudan, it is for all the African countries. And if we make aggregate calculation for all the balance of payment for all African countries, we will find they have a deficit status. That means most of the developing countries in Africa, they are importing more than exporting. Although countries there, they have raw material, they have many resources, but the actual situation that they are importing more than exporting. This is a balance of payment also for different countries. We find among the developing countries, Bangladesh and Philippines, they have a positive balance of payment. Maybe the structure of the economy for all those countries is similar, but we find Bangladesh and Philippines having more surplus in the balance of payment. Maybe this observation will be the main idea about this research. The main idea why only two countries among the developing countries with the same economic structure, they have a surplus in their balance of payment. Here also, we can see the two countries also, they have a good GDP, compared to the other countries. Here, we can find Sudan especially. This is a case study of the research. Sudan especially having a very miserable, can I say, miserable situation about the currency crisis. And this is showing the unofficial exchange rate compared to other countries. We can say in the past 20 years, the currency crisis evaluated 44 times compared to other countries like Egypt, Ethiopia, and Kenya. The paper using too many literature and too many document review to state the gap of the research. This case is being studied by different scholars, and it's been investigated by different researches with different models as well. But from the literature review, I realized that most of the researchers and most of the scholars, they are considering the detected factors, the known factors, which is low production, low resources, maybe some economic and some issues related to economy. So from the real trade model, the real trade model is stating that the problem of the currency crisis actually is the problem of the interaction between import and export. The paper created different model, and instead of export, we consider the migrant remittance. This is the amount people working abroad will send to their families, to their children for the expense covering. We call it the remittance or the migrant remittance. So the paper is trying to replace the export in the real trade model with the migrant remittance in the developed model by the paper. So the paper taking two areas, the supply side is the remittance and the demand side is the import. This diagram showing a report from the World Bank and showing that in the last years, the remittance considered as more contribution in the developing economic more than the foreign direct investment. So the remittance getting more important, especially in the flow of the hard currency to the countries. Back again to Bangladesh and to Philippines, we realize that Bangladesh and Philippines, they have a surplus in their balance of payment because they have high amount of the migrant remittance. Maybe this is make the difference between the other countries. The two countries that they have a positive balance of payment, Bangladesh and Philippines, because they have more amount coming from the migrants and the people working outside Philippines and people working outside Bangladesh. We come to the demand side. Demand side mainly is about the importing goods from different countries. This is the demand side for the currency in every economy. In Sudan, we can find the import getting higher from 2000 up to 2019. The import is getting higher. That means the markets depending mainly about the imported items, imported goods. When we analyze the nature of the items that being imported from outside, wheat, raw sugar, cars, jewelry, sometimes rubber, tire, maybe medical equipments, and sometimes some commodities. This is the structure of the imported items. If we try to analyze also the source of the items, we will find, especially Sudan, 50% of the import coming from 5 countries: Egypt, United Arab Emirates, China, India, and 4 countries actually. And this is considered as 50% of the import. The methodology of studying the demand side and the supply side is collecting data through different interviews with different migrants, Sudanese migrants working outside, and with different importers, also businessmen importing goods from outside Sudan, some governors also as well. And this collected data is being coded. We use a coding technique, is being coded to get some outcome and some results. So the data analysis is about the coding. The result is being shown in this diagram. This is the import and this is the remittance. The factors that mediating and creating the effect of the import is the credit facility, import restrictions, bank corruptions. For the remittance dealers and the friendly ways that they use with the black market and the black market premium as well. This area create demand and this area create supply. The interaction between demand and supply will create the exchange rate. So if we have more demand than the supply, we will have more exchange rate. The result of this paper coming to suggest some solution from the demand side and some solution from the supply side. Of course, demand side, the government should create more policies to decrease the import and to depend more on the national or local products. Supply sides, the government also supposed to create some restrictions about the black market transfer of the money. And this is may create some solutions about the currency crisis. Thank you very much for listening.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ziyi Zhao. I'm glad to join today's virtual conference. Today I want to present topic is a comparative study on the business management of long-term care institutions for elderly people with dementia in Taiwan. Next, the content is divided into introduction, nature reviewed, research methods, resource conclusions. First, introductions. First introduction. The number of births were decreased year by year from 2050 to 2022 years. The number of people over 65 years old were increased year by year from 2015 to 2022 years. According to stated from the Social and Family Affairs Administration of the Ministry of Health and Welfare, as of January 2023, there are only 17 long-term care institutions that have dedicated units for dementia care. In the face of demographic changes and escalated numbers of the dementia case, Taiwan grapples with the increasing demand for long-term care. Chapter 2, literature review is divided into elderly people with dementia definition, operation and management of long-term care institutions. Strange analysis. Chapter 3, research methods. The research object is this study was selected from the list of national elderly welfare institutions provided by the Social and Family Affairs Administration specialized dementia care units. This study chose 3 institutions. Two institutions are public one is provided. Three institutional strategies is I1 led by physical therapists for ball game. I2 using information technological equipment to care for the elderly. I3 military therapy activities. Okay. Data analysis. This study employed qualitative interviews to collect data from various institutions. The SWOT analysis was united, followed by the Towers analysis to define the optimal strategies. Okay. Resource. SWOT analysis of the 3 long-term care institutions with dementia care unit. I1 strategies like affordable monthly fees, weakness like in transportation. I2 strategy like application of information technology in earlier care, such as electric fence, monitor system. Weakness like resistance referral equipped by the local government. Okay, I3 strategies strong emphasis on the nostalgia and the scenery therapy programs. Weakness like limit use of information technology device. Okay. External elements analysis, opportunity government subsidies for long-term care public collaboration with different institutes. Threes, change in long-term care public. Final conclusion. Finally, SWOT analysis of international and external equipment of the long-term care institution. This study unit Towers analysis to develop festival strategy. Institutes that have physical therapists can contribute to community service and collaborate with village leaders to establish community centers that host activity to delayed dementia. The required funding can be sourced through government application. This collaboration can also enhance the institute's exposure and visibilities. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So good day, I am Trina Isabel Santiago, a Doctor of Medicine student from the University of the Philippines College of Medicine, and I will be presenting our policy brief on human rights violations committed on healthcare workers in the Philippines. So I will be following this outline. Human rights issues have been rampant in the Philippines. Since President Duterte's anti-drug campaign in 2016, the right to life violations alone amounted to 12,000 to 30,000 people, while the government's own data shows more than 6,190 people that were killed in police operations from 2016 to August 2021. Even during the pandemic, a dramatic increase by over 50% in serious violations to human rights has been observed. The healthcare workers became part of the vulnerable populations, and these acts of violence have been augmented by the militarized pandemic response and Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020. As mentioned, healthcare workers are also victims of human rights violations, which have been exacerbated during the pandemic. Hence, a literature search, review, and analysis of mass media reports were undertaken to describe the different cases of violations of the civil and political rights of healthcare workers during the pandemic, since they are victims of collective or political violence, especially in areas with disaster or conflict. In fact, according to the World Health Organization, up to 38% of health workers worldwide suffer physical violence at some point in their careers. Red tagging or red baiting or political vilification is the act of labeling, branding, naming, and accusing individuals and or organizations of being left-leaning, subversives, communists, or terrorists used as a strategy by state agents, particularly law enforcement agencies and the military, against those perceived to be threats or enemies of the state. This is a direct violation of human rights and a form of psychological warfare, resulting in a supposed social consciousness that all political dissidents are all communist terrorists, and enemies of the state, regardless if they are legal or armed revolutionary groups. Red tagging has been used to silence and criminalize dissent, posing threat to people's rights, lives, and safety. Here are several cases reported. The arrest of Dr. Natividad Castro, who was red tagged for her work as a human rights defender and development worker with several lapses from the Philippine National Police, such as decline of showing proper identification, denial of access to counsel, and refusal to reveal whereabouts of the accused to the family. Another is the killing of Dr. Mary Rose Sancelan, a health doctor and head of the Interagency Task Force on Emerging Infectious Diseases in Negros Oriental. She was accused to be the Communist Party of the Philippines' New People's Army, or CPP-NPA leader J.B. Regaliado, and was shot to death by unidentified gunmen riding a motorcycle. Another is the red tagging of the Alliance of Health Workers by the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, spokesperson Lorraine Badoy stating that the organization was a creation of the CPP-NPA-NDF that aims to infiltrate the government. Aside from that, several cases of discrimination and violence against healthcare workers during the pandemic occurred, such as eviction of healthcare workers from boarding houses or eateries, bleach attacks against healthcare workers, and shooting incidents of several physicians across the country. Next part is the analysis. The Philippine 1987 Constitution upholds the respect for the right to life and liberty, but recent government issuances contradict this. Executive Order 70 and Republic Act 11479 have been used as carte blanche government policies to vilify and accuse as terrorists or communists any person or group that is critical of government. These problems regarding the disempowering conditions for healthcare workers have already been present during the pre-pandemic period. And the onset of the pandemic has further worsened the existing social inequities, injustice, and stigma, delayed compensation and benefits, and the lack of equipment, supplies, and poor working conditions. This, together with the lack of support from government agencies like the Department of Health, lead to mass resignations and an exodus abroad of many healthcare workers, which further crippled the healthcare system of the Philippines. What can we do to improve the situation? Health workers perform services for the people, and protecting them and defending their human rights will result in many things, namely increased and retained health workforce, better pandemic response, especially in the future, better health services, and improved trust in the government, as well as better relationship with other countries. Our recommendations also include creating a body tasked with the protection of health workers, strengthening the Commission on Human Rights, expediting passage of legislation protecting and strengthening the human rights and welfare of healthcare workers, such as Senate bills on mandatory protection of health workers, prohibition of discrimination against healthcare workers, and the like, and improvement of collaboration and coordination among government agencies, such as between the Department of Health and Department of Interior and local government. The numerous violations to human rights committed against healthcare workers should stop. We have to stop these things from happening again in the future. We have to protect our healthcare workers because it is the right thing to do. This ends my presentation. Here are my references. Thank you for listening.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Hima Gauri. Thank you so much for this opportunity. So the title of my project is Multi-Biome, a multimodal biometric system with iris and fingerprint recognition for security applications. So this is my team composition and they are my teammates. So the main motivation behind this project was to differentiate between authorized and unauthorized access, and also the main motivation was to give security and authentication. So the name multimodal, it refers to using two different modalities. The main reason for using two different modalities was to ensure that we have good recognition accuracy. So modalities refers to different features. So usually we have different unique fingerprints in human face like iris and fingerprint. So skin tends to sag with age, and that's why we chose iris, because it doesn't tend to sag, and it remains constant throughout. It acts like a fingerprint, which is similar to thumbprint. So it won't there won't be any changes, and that's why we chose iris and fingerprint as signature for recognition accuracy. So after doing literature survey, we decided to consider this paper as base paper, as it inclined more towards the project that we were doing. So the name of this paper is Iris Recognition Using Convolutional Neural Network, and these are the key points that we inferred from the base paper, and the accuracy was 96.3%. And this is the second paper which we kept it as base paper for fingerprint recognition, and the accuracy achieved by the authors here was 95.9%. So the summary of literature survey is as follows. So we decided to move with iris and fingerprint as the unique signature compared to face. The literature gaps, so in all of the papers that we refer to, none of them had interactive GUI. So we decided to implement that because it will help us analyze the results better. And also we looked forward mainly towards improving accuracy in the project in compared to the papers that we referred to. And the objective of the project is the same. We are looking forward to we looked forward to increase the accuracy. This is a problem statement. So the proposed methodology is as follows. So first we go ahead with data loading and preparation. We import the necessary libraries, and we set a particular number of data files that needs to be taken for each epoch, which is iteration. And then next comes image pre-processing. In image pre-processing, we basically resize the images, and we set it to the size that we require it to be. And also conversion to pixel is done. Basically we want the image to be between 0 and 1, so we are doing it by dividing it by 255, and also by doing that we reduce the computational complexity as well. Third is defining CNN model. Here we add different layers which CNN model usually consists of, which is convolutional 2D layer, the max pooling layer, which is basically used to reduce the spatial dimensionality, and the flatten layer, which also helps in reducing dimensionality, and the dropout layer, which helps to prevent the overfitting, and the dense layer, which helps to connect all the layers. So these were the different layers that we considered. And in fourth step is defining the CNN model. This is basically done using in defining CNN model, we are setting values for different hyperparameters like learning rate, and also epoch, which is the number of iterations, and also the filter size. These are the hyperparameters which we are trying to set values by trial and error method. Fifth is model training. Here we are using model.fit function to train the model that we designed. And the next sixth is visualization and metrics for performance evaluation. So we are making use of graphs in order to analyze the performance. Seventh is the ROC curve, which is a receiver operating characteristics curve, which tells us how better our model performed. This is a block diagram. Coming to the results and analysis, so this is the accuracy graph for iris recognition. So as we can see that training accuracy is 100% and validation accuracy is 97.73%. So as epoch increases, which is as the number of iterations increases, the training and validation accuracy also increases. And this is a model loss graph. We can see that as iteration increases, the loss is also decreasing, which tells us that the model is performing better. And this is a receiver operating characteristics. So the more the area under the curve, the better the model has performed. So here the area under the curve is more and the graph is more inclined towards the left side. So the model has performed better. This is single predictions. So basically we give a particular image from a data set and it predicts that it is from that particular folder. And this is the GUI implementation for iris recognition. So we here we load the image, we pre-process it, and then segmentation and classification is done. This is the training accuracy. So training accuracy, we calculated it manually by using the formula, which is the formula for true positive rate, which is true positive by false, true positive plus false negative. So since this is a diagonal matrix, true positives lies in the diagonal, true positives are the diagonal elements which add up to 176, and the total number of elements in the matrix is also 176, which gives us 100% training accuracy. And this is a testing accuracy. This is as well as this is also a diagonal matrix. So after calculating, we get 97.72%. This is the output for fingerprint recognition. So here we can see the training accuracy is 100% and validation accuracy is 90.52%. Model loss graph is displayed as well. So the loss decreases as iteration increases. This is the receiver operating characteristics. As mentioned before, it is the area under the curve increases and the model performs better. And this is a single prediction. So I gave a image A from the particular folder and the predicted image was also A. This is a graphical user interface implementation for fingerprint recognition. So the training accuracy as well here is calculated from the diagonal matrix, and the testing accuracy here is 0.9052, which multiplied by 100 gives 90.52% is the validation accuracy, and the testing accuracy is calculated from the diagonal matrix similar to the iris. This is a so after integrating, this is a GUI implementation of both iris and fingerprint integration. So if it is from the same person, like if the same person's fingerprint and iris, if it is from the same folder, then we get a successful match. Otherwise, we get an unsuccessful match if the iris and fingerprint don't match. This is a comparison table of the reference paper that we referred to. So basically, we looked forward to increasing the training accuracy from the papers that we referred to. These are the references.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For your presentation.